Good morning, students. As you know, we have started analysis. Analysis is two type: chemical analysis, physical analysis. Under chemical analysis, you have come across two types: qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis. Under quantitative analysis, you are measuring the amount of the substance in the given sample or in unknown concentration of the solution by doing various methods or following various methods. As you know, under quantitative analysis, you have come across volumetric analysis, gravimetric analysis. Under volumetric analysis, you have come across different kinds of titrations: acid-base titrations, redox titrations, precipitation titrations, complexometric titrations, etc. Here you are measuring quantity of the substance by doing volumetric analysis based on the normality in the given volume, the amount of the substance is present. Okay, now come to electrolytic analysis, where we are using electric power and methods of electrical methods to measure the quantity of the substance. It is nothing but replacing volumetric titrations, where we are measuring through the conductance or resistance, specific conductance, electrolytic conductance, molar conductance, etc. Today we are going to discuss about conductometric titrations. As you know, you have come across what is conductance. Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance, and you have come across the difference between the current and conductance. Conductance is nothing but it is flow of charged particles that can be either cations or anions or both. Generally, conductance measured in molten state or in liquid state. In electrolytes, the electrolytes can be molten salts or aqueous salts, aqueous acids, aqueous bases, etc. So today we are going to discuss about conductometric titrations. Under volumetric, it is nothing but replacing the volumetric titrations. Under conductometric titrations, again these titrations have been classified as like similar in volumetric analysis. Here you can see these conductometric titrations we are going to study under 5 subheadings. The first one is that acid-base titrations, or you can call it conductometric acid-base titrations. Second one is that replacement or displacement conductometric titrations. Third one is that conductometric precipitation titrations. Fourth one is that conductometric complex titrations. Fifth one is that conductometric redox titrations. Again, under acid-base titrations, you will come across 5 types. We are going to discuss about all these things in details. We're taking or studying individual experiment and graphical representation, and how does the conductance vary with the concentrations and etc. So before going to discuss about the conductometric titrations, what is the difference? What is the significance of conductometric titrations than traditional volumetric titrations? Now we are going to discuss about importance and significance uses of conductometric titrations. The principle of conductometric titration is based on the fact that during the titration, one of the ions is replaced by other, and invariably those two ions differ in their ionic conductivity, with the result that conductivity of the solution varies during the course of titration. The equivalence point may be located graphically by plotting the change in conductance as a function of the volume of titrant added. In order to reduce the influence of errors in the conductometric titration to a minimum, the angle between the two branches of the titration curve should be as small as possible. If the angle is very obtuse, a small error in the conductance data can be cause a large deviation. The following approximate rules will be found useful. The smaller the conductivity of the ion which replaces the reacting ion, the more accurate will be the result. That it is preferable to titrate a silver salt with lithium chloride rather than hydrochloric acid. Generally, cation should be titrated with lithium salts and anions with acetates, as these ions have low conductivity. The larger the conductivity of the ion of the reagent which reacts with a cation to be determined, or vice versa, the more acute is the angle of titration curve. The titration of a slightly ionized salt does not give good results, since the conductivity increases continuously from the commencement. Hence, the salt present in the cell should be virtually completely dissociated. For a similar reason, the added reagent should also be a strong electrolyte. Throughout a titration, the volume of the solution is always increasing unless the conductance is corrected for this effect. Non-linear titration curves results. The correction can be accomplished by multiplying the observed conductance either by total volume or by factor total volume by initial volume. Here V is the initial volume, V dash is the volume resultant volume. The correction purposes that the conductivity is a linear function of dilution. This is true only to the first approximate. In the interest of keeping V small, the reagent for the conductometric titration is ordinarily several times more concentrated than the solution being titrated. It should be at least 10 to 20 times more concentration. A microburette may be then used for volumetric measurement. The main advantages to the conductometric titration are its applicability to very dilute and colored solutions, and to the system that involve relative incomplete reactions. For example, which neither a potentiometric nor indicator method can be used for the neutralization titration of phenol. A conductometric endpoint can be successfully applied. Applications: acid-base titrations, especially at trace levels, relative precision better than 1% at all levels. These are also few advantages with this technique. As you know, the conductance is non-specific property. Concentration of other electrolytes can be troublesome. The electrical conductance of a solution is a measure of its current's carrying capacity and therefore determined by the total ionic strength. It is a non-specific property, and for this reason direct conductance measurement are of little use unless the solution contains only the electrolyte to be determined, or the concentrations of other ionic species in the solution are known. Conductometric titrations, in which the species in the solution are converted to non-ionic by neutralization, precipitation, etc., are of value. Now come to types of conductometric titrations under acid base. The first one is that strong acid with a strong base. Example, you can take hydrochloric acid versus with sodium hydroxide. Before sodium hydroxide is added, the conductance is high due to the presence of highly mobile hydrogen ions. When the base is added, the conductance falls due to the replacement of hydrogen ions by the added cations H plus ions react with OH minus ions to form undissociated water. The decrease in the conductance continues till the equivalent point. At the equivalence point, the solution contains only sodium chloride. After the equivalence point, the conductance increases due to the large conductivity of hydroxyl ions. You can see the graphical representation of strong acid with strong base. Just now I have shown that on y-axis and x-axis. On y-axis you can see conductance is representing here, on x-axis volume of sodium hydroxide. So you are measuring, first you have taken the strong acid and you are measuring its conductance. It shows something conductance. Now you started conductometric titration by adding the base to the acid. At the beginning, due to presence of H plus ions, the conductance has been measured some. It has shown on the y-axis. As you are adding the base to the acid, the conductance goes on decreasing. Just now I told that regarding due to neutralization reaction, that is nothing but the H plus ions which are present in the acid are combining with the added OH minus ions, converting into water. The end point, if you look at that, when you're coming goes on decreasing the conductance, and which is reaching to the least or minimum point at which all the hydrogen ions present in the acid have consumed and converted into water by hydroxyl ion. After the end point, if you look at again, the curve goes on increasing constantly, which indicate that now when you are adding the word OH minus ions or hydroxyl ions, concentration goes on increasing. This is the curve representation conductometric titration. Almost in all the cases, strong acid versus strong base, the curve will be similar. Now come to strong acid, weak acid with a strong base. Weak acid with a strong base. Example, you can take acetic acid with sodium hydroxide. You can look at the curves in conductor. Initially, the conductance is low. As you know, acetic acid is a weak acid, is low due to feeble ionization of acetic acid. On the addition of the base, there is decrease in conductance not only due to the replacement of H plus ions by sodium ions, but also suppresses the dissociation of acetic acid due to common ion acetate. So you know, when acetic acid is undergoing ionization which produces H plus ions and acetate ions, the conductivity of acetic acid is due to presence of H plus ions. So the ionization is very less, the conductivity will be very less. But when you are adding sodium hydroxide, again acetate ion is combining with sodium ions and giving back to the sodium acetate. So, but very soon the conductance increases on adding sodium hydroxide. As the sodium hydroxide neutralizes the undissociated acetic acid to sodium acetate, CH3COO Na is sodium acetate, which is a strong electrolyte. This increase in conductance continues rise up to the equivalence point. The graph near the equivalence point is curved due to the hydrolysis of salt. sodium acetate. Beyond the equivalence point, conductance increases more rapidly with the addition of sodium hydroxide due to the highly conducting OH- ions. Now, strong acid versus weak base. Example, you can take sulfuric acid with dilute ammonia, or you can call it as ammonium hydroxide. Initially, the conductance is high and then it decreases due to the replacement of H plus ions. But after the end point has been reached, the graph becomes almost horizontal since the excess aqueous solution of ammonia is not appreciably ionized in the presence of ammonium sulfate. So you can see this is the graph representing a strong acid versus weak base. Here you can see in beginning you have taken in the conical flask sulfuric acid. You have measured the conductance. You have plotted on the y-axis. The conductance is very high at beginning. Now you started conductometric titration, adding the base, that is ammonium hydroxide. It is a weak base. As you know, when you're going on adding that, conductance goes on decreasing and reaching to the end point. After the end point, there is no change in the conductance, or conductance is constant. Just now I told it is due to formation of ammonium sulfate. So equivalence point. So this is the graph or curve representing conductometric titration, strong acid versus weak base. Now come to weak acid with a weak base. The nature of curve before the equivalence point is similar to the curve obtained by titrating weak acid against strong base. After the equivalence point, the conductance virtually remains the same as the weak base which is being added is feebly ionized and therefore is not much conducting. You can look at the curve. This is the conductometric titration of weak acid versus weak base. See, at the beginning you are observing the curve is not that slow, slope is very less and it is almost parallel to the x-axis. At the beginning you are observing that it has noted down or measured some conductance, and slowly slightly conductance is decreasing. After that there is a slight increase in the conductance, and at the equivalence point or neutralization point is determined. After the neutralization point or equivalence point, if you continue the titration by adding the ammonium hydroxide, there is no increase or change in the conductance. The next one is that mixture of a strong acid and a weak acid versus strong base or a weak base. So here you can see that it is a mixture. So far you have come across acid versus base or base versus acid. Either both are strong, one is strong, another is weak, or both are weak. Now here you can look at, here it is a mixture, strong acid and weak acid mixture you have taken and treating with the strong base or weak base. In this curve there are two break points. The first breakpoint corresponds to the neutralization of strong acid. When the strong acid has been completely neutralized, only then the weak acid starts neutralizing. The second breakpoint corresponds to the neutralization of weak acid, and after the conductance increases due to the excess of OH minus ions in case of a strong base as the titrant. However, when the titration is a weak base, it remains almost constant after the end point. You can see similar which is given in the graphical figure. Now this is the curve strong acid versus weak base. You can see that at beginning conductance is more because acid is completely undergoing ionization. There will be more hydrogen ions or H plus ions for conductance. When you had a base, that conductance goes on decreasing. After that again, if you go add the base conductance, there is no increase in the conductance. Now this is the graph which is representing conductometric titration weak acid versus strong base. You can look at that at the beginning conductance is very low. As you are adding the acid to the strong base to the acid, conductance goes on increasing. At the equivalence point, after the equivalence point, there is a use or more increase in the conductance because after the equivalence point, only strong base is present. As you know, strong base is sodium hydroxide which undergo 100% ionization. The availability of hydroxyl ions is more. So that is the reason there is a more or greater increase in the conductance. Now you can look at a graph mixture of strong acid and a weak base versus a strong base or a weak acid. Here just now you have come across about this curve. At the beginning, first you can see there are the two end points or equivalence points. The first end point you can see that is at V1, it is denoted with V1. At the beginning, conductance is measured which is showing some reading. As you add the either base or acid to the mixture of acid, then conductance goes on decreasing. You are observing the first end point. This is the end point between the strong acid, that is the strong acid end point. After that, again conductance goes on increasing. You are finding second end point, that is the end point indicating about the weak acid. After the second equivalence or end point, conductance goes on increasing due to increase in the strength or concentration of base. Now come to displacement or replacement titrations. Displacement or replacement titrations. When a salt of weak acid is titrated with a strong acid, the anions of the weak acid is replaced by that of the strong acid, and weak acid itself is liberated in the undissociated form. Similarly, in the addition of strong base to the salt of weak base, cations of the weak base is replaced by that of the stronger one, and the weak base itself is generated in the undissociated form. For example, 1 molar HCl is added to 0.1 molar solution of sodium acetate. The curve shown, the acetate ion is replaced by chloride ion after the end point. The initial increase in conductivity is due to the fact that the conductivity of the chloride ion is slightly greater than that of acetate ion. Until the replacement is nearly complete, the solution contains enough sodium acetate to suppress the ionization of the liberated acetic acid, so resulting a negligible increase in the conductivity of the solution. You can look at the curve or graphs about the displacement titrations. Okay, you can see that ammonium chloride versus sodium hydroxide and sodium acetate versus HCl. There you are finding, in case of sodium acetate versus HCl, slight increase is their conductivity and reaching the other end point. It is a sudden increase in the conductivity. You can observe it with the sodium hydroxide versus ammonium chloride also. Okay, this is about the displacement or replacement titrations curves. In remaining titrations, we are going to discuss in next class.